I'm going to ask you a question that no one has ever asked you. Have you thought about your scent before your last important interview? Before your last negotiation? Your last job appointment? Your last fundraising? Probably not. You thought about your outfit, your speech, your handshake, your posture. But your scent, that invisible signal you emit constantly, you left to chance. That's a strategic mistake. Not because smelling good is a courtesy, but because your sense of smell is the only sense that reaches your interlocutor's emotional brain without passing through their rational filter. Before they have had time to analyze what you are saying, your scent has already made an impact. What I am going to share with you is not about esoteric personal development. It's neurobiology applied to your communication strategy. The personal branding you neglect. Most professionals limit their personal branding to their online presence. A polished LinkedIn profile, regular posts, a photo where the expression is calculated to stop the scroll. It's not useless, but it's very incomplete. Your personal branding is the sum of all the signals you emit, conscious or not, that create the perception others have of you. Online, yes, but especially offline, where the decisions that really matter are made. These signals are verbal, what you say, and nonverbal, everything else. Your posture, your gaze, your walk, your way of occupying space. And among all these nonverbal signals, there is one that you probably have never consciously worked on: your scent. Your scent speaks before you do. It speaks while you are speaking, and it continues to speak after you have left. This is not a metaphor, it's neurobiology. All the other senses, sight, hearing, touch, pass through an area of the brain called the thalamus. The thalamus is like customs. It analyzes, it sorts, it filters before allowing information to pass to the emotional areas. Olfaction, however, completely bypasses this filter. Odor molecules land directly in the amygdala, the center of your emotions, and in the hippocampus, the center of your memory, directly, without prior analysis. Your interlocutor has already felt something about you, even before you opened your mouth. What actors know, and you don't. The professionals who master nonverbal communication the best are actors. We think of their posture, their gaze, their tone of voice, but never of their scent. And yet, during the International Perfume Festival in Cannes, organized by Juliette Espinasse Dubois, I had a conversation that changed the way I think about communication. A comedian confided in me that she used different perfumes to embody the personalities of her characters. I was intrigued, so I looked into it, and I discovered that this is absolutely not an isolated practice. Michael Ball wears Madame Rochas to embody a character in Hairspray. Fenella Wolgar uses Guerlain or Shalimar, depending on the emotion she needs to convey. Jessica Chastain and Laura Linney have even collaborated with professional perfumers to create custom fragrances tailored to the psychology of their characters. Why does it work? Because the sense of smell is directly connected to the circuits of emotion and memory. A scent can trigger a memory, a bodily state, a way of being, almost instantly. The actor is not trying to remember a state, they are trying to settle into it. The perfume becomes an instant trigger for inner transformation. What you can do with it right now? It's concrete. If you have an important presentation, a negotiation, a new position, choose a fragrance that you associate with your optimal state. Wear it consistently in those contexts. In a few weeks, that scent becomes a cognitive switch. You smell it, your brain recognizes the context, and you enter the desired state before you even begin. The question no one asks: using a fragrance to influence your own state, that's already very powerful. But can we go further? Can we use a fragrance to influence the perception others have of you so that your interlocutor perceives a specific personality in you, non-verbally, almost subliminally, without you having to say it? That's the question my second encounter at the festival posed to me, without articulating it. Francisco Celli is a perfumer artist and founder of the Brazilian house Olivia. His approach is radically different from that of traditional perfumery. He collaborated with a scientist specializing in personality psychology. Together, they designed a range of 12 fragrances based on the Enneagram. The Enneagram is a model of human personality, 9 fundamental psychological profiles, each with its motivations, strengths, and modes of communication. Francisco Celli's principle is as simple as it is radical. Each fragrance corresponds to a personality profile. You deliberately choose a fragrance to project the personality you want to express in a given context to achieve a specific goal. This is no longer just perfume. It is a tool for nonverbal communication calibrated to human psychology. A few concrete examples. Are you taking on a managerial position and want to establish your authority naturally? Wear a woody and musky fragrance, notes that evoke strength, grounding, physical presence. Your team will perceive something without being able to name it. Are you participating in a co creation session and want to be seen as open and creative? A light and bright floral fragrance sends the signal before you say a word. Are you in an interview for a position that requires rigor and reliability? A clean and understated aromatic fragrance immediately builds an image of precision and seriousness. Are you negotiating an important contract and want to project confidence and elegance without ostentation? A discreet woody fragrance does exactly that. Without aggressiveness, without excess. In all these cases, the mechanism is the same. Your scent reaches your interlocutor's limbic system before their prefrontal cortex has had time to analyze your speech. The impression is formed. The rational filter has not yet had its say. How to integrate all of this right now? You don't need to revolutionize your olfactory wardrobe overnight. 3 steps are enough to get started. First step, identify your natural profile. What personality do you want to embody in your professional life on a daily basis? Choose a fragrance that corresponds to it. This is your signature scent, the one you wear to be in harmony with yourself. Second step, choose a contextual fragrance. Identify the 2 or 3 professional situations where you most need to project a precise image. A negotiation, a presentation, a first client meeting. For each situation, a fragrance aligned with the personality you want to express. Wear it consistently. In a few weeks, the association builds in your brain and in the minds of your interlocutors. Third step, observe the reactions, the spontaneous feedback on your fragrance, the way conversations are engaged, the atmosphere in the room, what others perceive of you without you having said anything. You will discover that you communicate much more than you thought, and that you can steer this communication with much more precision. To conclude, your personal branding is not limited to your LinkedIn posts. It includes every signal you emit, consciously or unconsciously. And among all these signals, your scent is the one that reaches the emotional brain of your interlocutors the fastest, most directly, and most durably. Comedians have known this for a long time. Francisco Celli has systematized it. All you have to do is use it. The next time you prepare for an important moment, a negotiation, a presentation, a decisive meeting, ask yourself this question. What personality do I want my interlocutor to perceive in me, even before I have spoken? Then choose your scent accordingly. It's not just vanity, it's strategy.